So, it's another episode of the GX3 series. We've already covered Sammy Cup 2001. We're going to cover Sammy Cup 2002. So Sammy Cup 2001 was Guilty GearX, and now this is the second coming of the arcade version of Guilty Gear, with this being the very first version of XX. So this is XX Midnight Carnival. The previous game before that was Guilty GearX By Your Side. So here we are, Midnight Carnival. There's going to be some very familiar faces that a lot of people know from the FGC currently in this. And I guess I should preface this early on with this here, is that GX3 is built to teach people about old Guilty Gear, so you can learn a little bit more about, how it was back in the day, how it evolved, some of the players who still play, some of the players who don't play, and or how those players have shaped the game moving forward. Sammy Cup 2002, as I said already, there's a lot of familiar faces in here, because this is 2002, obviously, right? We're in 2021. This is a long time ago at this point. So you're going to see some young, familiar faces. It's going to be dope. Guarantee you guys. This is when I really was paying attention to Guilty Gear, right? Because I went back to look at Sammy Cup 2001, But here's where I started. After hearing, pretty much seeing how this game was, in the arcades and stuff like that, we really wanted it out here in Houston. And luckily, our local arcade, Stargate, rest in peace, they hooked it up, The owner was really, really, privy to Guilty Gear. He really thought Guilty Gear was cool too. So we ended up getting like 2 cabs. And this definitely was one of the biggest games in the city. If you're playing competitive fighting games, Guilty Gear was pretty big here, especially its first year. So that's enough on my backstory on that. Let's just get right into Sammy Cup 2002. Get ready. This one's going to be a blast. Now, I don't know all the players here either, just like Guilty GearX. But something to note about this version of the game, really quickly before we even get started into this match, is that, the new OTG system is a thing in this version, right? So what that entails is that basically Guilty GearX OTG system was like 2 hits and it's a hard knockdown. This version is kind of like what people are used to now. It doesn't have those, what's it called? It doesn't have what are the words I'm looking for? It just, the OTG system doesn't force you to get knocked down anymore. You pretty much deal with it the same way you would, any other Guilty Gear past Guilty GearX. So notably also there's that, and then there's like the inclusion of the burst. And you guys are going to see here in the upper left and right hand corners, there are character icons. So pretty much the character icons take after whatever each one of these characters are doing. And I mentioned this before, and this is part of the reason why I got really good at the game and blocking mix-ups, is because those character icons here in the top left and the top right corners of the game allowed you to see certain things where if you couldn't see it with the character because of the effects, you could see it if you looked up here. I'm pretty sure that was a design philosophy that they had in mind, but it ended up not being a thing anymore after Reload. But let's go. Take a look. Oh, one more thing else to note. I forgot about this. Gold burst and defensive burst both cause hard knockdown in this game. Keep that in mind. Every other version, pretty much it was AC. AC, the only time a burst would knock you down was defensive counter hit burst and a gold burst. And it pretty much holds true up until Xrd, if I recall right. It's been a minute since I played Xrd, but yeah. Burst are hard knockdowns in this game. Alright, so let's check it out. Let's rock. So in this game, Eddie had Dolphin. So he had a Dolphin overhead. This was pretty freaking hilarious, dude. Like, you could legit get knocked down. And then this is his unblockable. They could do anywhere, anytime in block strings. It's pretty nutty. Also, that's an FRC they took out the game. So that's close drill. So you know he has close drill with slash, far drill with H. In this game, it's an instant FRC, and it's still a low. But after this game, they got rid of it like completely. Like, you could never do it anymore. It was too good. Haneru. Haneru. Now, my reading of Japanese is really bad, so I don't really know the players here. I'm not gonna lie. But there are some in here that I do know, and they're very recognizable faces. Bump Eddie. Too good. What's up, Brian? For those who are going to be watching this on the YouTubes, I did this live on stream. This is why we're able to bring it pretty much every week. One a week. In the tournament series. Sokuka. Also notice, you know, a lot of characters, you know, their options are a lot more limited in this game, you know, because this is the first version of XX. So this isn't like Plus R where you have, you know, fully fleshed out characters. This is literally the first year. And in this version of the game, was it Bridget, Eno, Slayer? Oof, nice. Bridget, Eno, Slayer, and Zappa are all new characters in this game. Is the Bridget Rue? Nah. Back then, before there was Rue, there was Yukinose. Yukinose played Bridget and Dizzy. Yeah, that's definitely not Rue. Okay, so this guy right here, Kakyun. I literally believe after watching this event that he was the best Guilty Gear player for a long time. Before there was Ogawa, before there was the Machibos, there was Kakyun. And this guy, up until Xrd, when he didn't play anymore, this dude was legit like my favorite player. I learned so much from watching him play. And this dude played biking. I think I've actually picked up biking after watching this, to be honest. And yeah, he was definitely my favorite player for a very long time. Up until Xrd, he was my favorite Guilty Gear player, like hands down. He just plays the game differently than most people, and he plays in such a smart fashion. And I tried to like copy that to the best of my ability and try to understand it. But you guys will see. You guys will see. Man, look at Kakyun, super young. Toru, I believe, has also been around for a good while too. I think Toru kept playing up until about AC. Like, look at the range he stood at to, like, punish that. That's so smart. Also, if you notice, a lot of, like, you know, what they're doing, FD stop run, they FD stop a lot of their stuff, you know? Like, you see a lot of FD stopping. A lot of jump FDing. Also, this was an option select back in this game, where you literally jump up and you would plink faultless defense and H, and either you block or you get an air throw, which is pretty much what happened here. And I believe they took that out finally in like reload. No, not reload. I think they took that out in slash. So pretty much his way of moving influenced my own. Not that, you know, Toru isn't doing the same thing either, but like later on in the future of Guilty Gear, after this tournament and further on, you know, Kakyoin played like jam, and his jam is, I don't even know what to say. Like, his jam is just on another level from what I saw back then. So yeah, this is the Anji, Baiken, and Chip stage. They all shared this stage in Guilty GearX. And the new Yozansen animation. There it is. Like, this is what I mean. Like, you see like the range that Kakyoin's staying at. Like, you can tell he's played the matchup a lot. And even then, you know, Baiken was pretty high tier in this game. Nice. Alright, let's go get into the next match.
HVR さんとブラウンさんですね。
HVR. Here you go. Wanted Milia. It's actually amazing how often characters you like the look of match your playstyle. Ah, okay, I got you. Yeah. Yo. So see, in this game, her hair car FRC was instant. And then look at that FRC block. Bing. Like, crazy, man. Crazy good, man. This character, ugh. This character. Her mix-up was so dirty in this game. I would say more so Hispanic Milia. Okay, I was wrong. I thought Gold Burst caused hard knockdown in this game. Okay, then it was just the I stand corrected. So in the beginning I did say that the Gold Burst do cause hard knockdown. I was wrong. It's been so long since I played XX, so. But for sure defensive ones do cause hard knockdown. And I think it's counter hit Gold Burst. Ooh, that wrist build. Oh, it's gonna hurt. Meteors. Oh, that was cheap. That was cheap. Yeah, someone called the misinformation police on me. I made a mistake on a game I haven't played in well over like 10 years. Or more. Oh, missed the counter hit combo. Yo, her jump dust used to cause hard knockdown. Woo. And mind you, in this version, a lot of characters only really had, what, 1 to 2 FRC moves? So for Amelia, it was the hair car and H disc. Everything else was not so much. Okay, then do I stand corrected again? So I guess it's gold burst so I guess it was gold burst in the air that's not hard knockdown, but if you're grounded, it's hard knockdown. Because that was a gold burst right there. It's okay. I was right, just wrong about where it does cause, or I was unsure of where it causes the hard knockdown. Alright, misinformation police, go away. These dudes just having a good old time, man. These were simpler times, man. God, that was so much damage, even for Faust. Notice how he hasn't even picked up the pin yet. Alright, he got pinned now. Like, he just kept going for the mix. He didn't even care about the pin. Kaboom. And he takes the bomb. Oh no, he didn't take the bomb. Thought he would. Was Million Sweep different? Nope. They stacking up those fines, the misinformation police. Damn it. Damn it. Okay, Dai-chan. So, Dai-chan, if I recall right, is Pachi's brother. Dai-chan was also one of the best. Later on, Dai-chan was one of the best. ABBA players. There you go. Floats. Hey, remember, this is an excerpt. You see this? This has been here for so long. Yeah, I know Dai-chan played Persona also. It's so good seeing this, man. That's godlike. It only had specific uses, but gosh, Bridget damage. Woo. Bridget was so good in this version. Delayed wake up. So Bridget could delay wake up if Bridget had yo-yo available. So you had to retime a lot of your Oki on the character, or OTG. See? Yeah, but if the yo-yo's already out, can't do that. Mixed. Mixed. So, as you can see, Ino's had these problems even since this game. Because he did 2K2S into HCL. Miss. Those are definitely problems in Xrd. Ooh! We were throwing burst even back in 2002, boy! No! No! We've been throwing those! Oh wow, what a wake up throw. No. Bridget's Starship was so good in this game. Man, Bridget was so disrespectful in this game. Oh crap. Is Abba stronger in the version before AC? Slash? She's good in Slash. I'd probably say it's about the same. But man, Bridget's DP was so good, dude. Like, this super from Ino has so much iframes. But wait, was he fuzzy? Yeah. Dude, I love seeing all the old stuff, man. See, like, there was you guys know I was talking about like transition guard in other games and stuff like that, right? If you notice, like right here, when Dai-chan gets knocked down, he wakes up and starts doing alternate guard. He starts doing fuzzy guards, and then he fuzzy jumps, cause he's not trying to like get hit by mix-ups. Oh man, good times. If anyone wants to get into old school Ino, what should they know about her before tackling the task? Honestly, just watch Koichi. Old Koichi is probably like still your best frame of reference. And in this game, Bridget can't cancel the overhead. You need meter. Or you need yo-yo. Alright. Next games. Oh, I don't know if Koichi still plays plus R or not. Again, two players I don't know. Well, I don't remember them. It's been so long. What is this Faust color? Also in this game, like the 6Ps are so good. They're really, they're almost comparable to uppercuts. Like they have really good iframes. Like they're still like, 6 and 9-ish frames, somewhere in that ballpark. But like, they're really good moves. Oof. Looking a lot like Xrd matchups, right? Woo! You 6P'd the crap out of that. My man Zato came to get that shit on my face. Stop it. What a guy. Got him. Two, three. Gotta deal with the meteors. The blocks. Oh, wrist gauge. Man, wrist build in this game was so crazy. Man. You know how good it feels to be able to 6P Faust J2K? It's really hard to do an X-Surd. And this situation here has never changed. It's just you have to deal with it. And the crazy part is no burst available. He barely got his burst back after he got hit. That's tough. That's tough. Oh, XX wrist build is... Alright, X-Men. He's been around for a while. He was even playing, I believe he was playing an X as well. And he's been probably one of the longest running Johnny players outside of like Jonio. Like Jonio, Omito, X-Men. He's been around for a long time. The respect. So in this version of the game, Axel does have other things like his projectile counter, like he did here for the cancel. That move right there, if I can catch it on the right frames. So this move here was Axel's projectile counter. You can use it to like exactly what he just did there. You can use it to frame kill or recovery cancel off of things when you get like counter hits. And you can get combos in this game because the counter hit state in this game is pretty nutty. But Axel's also one of the only other characters in this game to have a 1-frame FRC, which is his Rensengeki. That thing was legit 1 frame. If you can get that, you're godlike. I would say his uppercut was a little bit better in this game too. And Johnny's old Insinga. Fam. Look at the damage on the Insinga. Like, bruh. You think those... So, a lot of people feel like the air misfinders are pretty jacked up, and I think that they are. But Insinga hits from so far out. And like the damage output he would get. Like, look at that. He's half... That is a half screen overhead, dude. Like, that is a half screen overhead. Like, holy shit. And yeah, Johnny was definitely... He was amongst the... He's either top tier or high tier in this game. You do have to know the one-hit Insinga stuff for the unblocks. But like, even if you don't know them, moves like Insinga, because he didn't have an air combo ender in Guilty GearX, so they gave him Insinga. Insinga's like I said, that's a half screen overhead into combo. Like that was like 60%, you know? Insinga. He didn't even need coins with Insinga. Coin helps. Now this is kind of a tough matchup for Johnny, but like the minute he's within like 5k range, it's definitely problematic. Yo, look at the movement. I feel you on that, Biz. Uh-oh. It's like, I'm not dealing with that unblock. And this was Axel in this game. Slowly tear people apart. Play good neutral, slowly tear people apart. Get off me, homie. Ooh, that wrist build. No meter for the Nsinga. Oh! He tried. He missed his wave dash. That's why he was mashing FD. Yeah, he couldn't get it. He's gonna try to wave dash, probably throw. Ooh! Big whiff. But that's the most damage Axel's gonna get. Without FRC, Axel's not gonna get any big damage. Ooh, that was smooth. The drops. No. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Ooh, that was meaty. Nah, get up off me. I just wanna call attention to how smooth that backdash and single was. Ooh, that was a sweet whiff punish. Ooh. Oh man. Ugh. That's tough. I would argue, you know, might have taken the place of Milia. All right, getting down to it. Who's that? Who's that? Does anyone recognize this guy? Does anyone recognize this guy right here? Does anyone know who this guy is? Does anyone know who this guy is? Bonus points if you know. Yeah, man. Couldn't guess it. Young Nemo. Nemo's known for so many characters in other games. He's always been pretty much a Faust player in Guilty Gear as far as I know. You know, he's moved on from Guilty Gear because, you know, he plays for the money now for the most part, from what it seems to me. He did play Xrd a lot in the beginning, but, you know, he's a sponsored player and all other stuff like that. So, like, his main focus right now has been Street Fighter V. But he did play Street Fighter 4. He did pretty much play every... Nemo was around for pretty much every Guilty Gear. Up until esports started becoming a thing, you know, obviously, you know, play for the money, you know, whatever. You know, he is a sponsored player. He does play the bigger games, like I said, like Street Fighter and whatnot. So this is his this is him early on. This is him early on. So let's keep it going. So yeah, this is young Nemo. So in the first year of this game, pretty much a lot of characters qualified for this. But I would probably say the most used character is probably Eddie. What an air throw. Wow. And here's the interesting part. Testament's not even really that strong in this game. And one of the major reasons why he's weak is because of the character icons at the top. You can legit just look up there on every mix-up and block all his mix-ups. Ooh, the comeback. Far slash sweet. Man, what a character. Far slash sweet. Far slash sweet. So as you can see, you know, one thing he's always done is always pick good characters. Not sure that these guys are either. Like, as we move forward later on into the series and the events, a lot of the players are a lot more recognizable for me. Yeah, first to one. So interestingly enough, if that banded revolver would have hit, that would have... Oh. Jeez. Dust Loop did so much damage back then. Ooh, what a DP. Good instant blocks. Nah, we out of there on that one. Oh, that's gonna hurt. And right, this has never changed. Sweet, counter hit sweet, gun flame into die. That has not changed. Woo! Where you going? Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Can't do it. Can't do it.
それでは準々決勝第1試合ランレボー選手対カキュン選手
Right, guys, Rupon.
決勝筐体へお進みください
Oh man, bro, look at that. Look. You see that presentation? Hold on, man. You get the look at that, man. You got the women in the business suits just walking you down to the stage. Play some damn Guilty Gear, dog. Come on, man. You got a whole escort, man. That's godlike. Hell, even just like, I don't know, man. I definitely owe a lot of my playstyle to this player. A lot of my playstyle definitely comes from Kakyoin. Even though he played like him. Later on in the future of the series, he plays so many other characters. Literally, back then it was like him and Yukinos. Also, there's a thing in this game too, especially in the older games. If you can get the timer down to about 25 seconds on the clock, whether you blocked or not, you'll most likely get your burst back. You can pretty much get 2 bursts in 1 round. But you gotta play that defense. Dude, look at... Dude, he's playing biking and being so slippery, dude. Alright, it's past the 25 seconds, so good chance he's gonna get his burst back. Yep. So when the round starts, he's gonna have a burst back. Right as it starts, he's gonna have it. So early bursting isn't necessarily too bad. Like in this version. Jeez. Yep. Now you just chill out. Got him. So good. And, you know, Biken has been known for being really good against that character.
それでは準々決勝第2試合ブラウン選手対大選手決勝筐体にお進みください
Dai Chan, stay looking suave. How you got the hoodie on, but you still got the muffler?
勝てないですけど頑張りたいと思います。まあ頑張って優勝したいと思うんで、みんなドキュントークでお願いします。
My man got the hoodie with the muffler. Don't even need the muffler, but he was like, yo, I'm trying to swag on these boys. Oh, man. Fair and balanced. This version is definitely... Woo. Notice there's no chip. Chip wasn't considered very strong in this version. It took a little while for Chip to be even used in Japan. Like, people played him, but you didn't really see match videos of him. And if you did see match videos of Chip back then in this game, he's normally dying. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but actually I do know how to explain it. All Japanese Chip players at this time pretty much just died. Every match video I used to watch used to be low-key depressing. Because he would just die. I'm like, I don't understand. No pin. No pin. No pin. So every time when he wins these games, no pin. Low health against combos I'm seeing, I believe it. Yeah. It damage in this game is pretty high. Oh, drops. And this is before Bridget was doing the whole FTC rolling stuff. This is before that time. Try to bait the DP. Wanted to pin that time. Alright, here we go. Final round. What's it gonna be? What a pickup! Woo! Woo! That pressure. Here we go. You don't got yo-yo. You do have Starship though. The blocks. Ooh. Alright, pin time. What are you gonna do with it? What are you gonna do with it? You got it now. What a burst. What a burst. Missed the relaunch. Ooh. Dead. Because Milia.
勝ったのはブラウンさん。
試合が
Bronson?
決着しました。まずは大臣、残念ながら敗れまして一言終わりました。全力は尽くしました。わかりました。退場していただきます。
I recognize the player now.
そして勝ちましたブラウンさんです。今は何もコメントを求めません。次の試合に向かってください。
He's been around for a while.
お戻りください。それでは準々決勝第3試合、楊選手対 X メン
No, 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 no. The orb setup is the same.
決勝筐体へお進みください。
This matchup historically, like, they both can unblockable each other. It's pretty even. And yeah, that was a thing early on in old Guilty Gear, where some players would do respect at the start and air dash back and then play the game from there. As a sign of respect. Oh. Wow, what a goal burst. No coin loops. Unblockable. Nope. Doesn't matter. Guess what? Guess what? Do the thing. I thought he was gonna high miss finder because he still had level 1. No, he had level 2. He could have popped him. That was gonna hurt if he got the feint. So the thing back in the day was like, if you play Guilty Gear and you're like new to it, but you're a Street Fighter player, it was always, here we go, party time. Dead. Basically, if you're a Street Fighter player, you were always suggested to play Johnny. Since he doesn't run. Unblockables. This is what I mean, like, boom, one hit and Singa. Game. You would just die. You would just die fighting this man. That is unfortunate. Throwing some coins up there, dog. Bing, bing. Alright, just getting down to it.
残る椅子はただ一つとなりました。それでは準々決勝第4試合、ネモ選手対ワシミ選手。
I want to say this is the same place they had gigs.
お進みください。
Man, look at Nemo.
まだいい席出したいんで、どんどん出していきたいと思います。まあ、いつも通り頑張ります。
It's crazy how far the lore goes back to these players, man. It really is. Also, I think one thing to note about some of these players that are in this tournament, some of them actually went by different names later on. Like you saw, like for example, X-Men. You know, his name is like some outrageously long thing, so eventually he just brought it down to X-Men. I think he also went by X-Man as well, so some of the players changed their names. That's gonna hurt. Ooh, tech trap, boys. That's so good for Soul back then. Because even though he hit Faust with that, you know, Faust has a bigger body. So it's easy to OTG randomly on the, oh my. Yeah, so it's easier to accidentally OTG him. It's like that in all the games, but it actually sets up a tech trap in this game. Pretty sure it still does an Xrd. Oh, these boys out here crazy with these Grand Vipers. Hold on now. He was looking solid for a minute, so he did that. Oh, that was huge. That was a big drop. This matchup is pretty hard for Soul, though. Soul does have to work his way in against Faust, because Faust normals are better than Soul's. Soul will definitely out-damage Faust and get the knockdowns, but, like, you do have to work for it. Straight hit, dust loop, bad damage. If that was a defensive verse, he probably would have got hit. Dead. Jeez. Oh yeah. Soul can definitely do work in the matchup, but he's got to get next to you. Poor Nemo. Yeah, for some reason I feel like this is the same location that they ran gigs. So 4 years later, when Guilty Gear Slash came out, they held a tournament called Gigs. It was a single elim, singles tournament. And they ran, I think it's ran at this same location. Because I recognize the arena, basically. One with Far Slash and it's over. Yeah.
Junkesso 第1試合 1P カキウン選手対 2P ブラウン選手両選手の入場です。
Calhoun and Bronson. Dude plays so confidently, man. Calhoun? I swear.
Heaven or hell, duel 1, let's rock!
ブラウンの方は空中からダメージを奪いに
So yeah, what's up? Got the pin anyway. So you can even see now that people were using strategies to try to make sure she doesn't get that pin back. But sometimes you can't always allow for it. You know, if you play Chip or a fast character, you'll be able to like definitely keep her away from it. So even though he did sweep, even though Bronson did sweep into Secret Garden, it's still not real. disc is still a better option in most cases, but it's just sweeping the Secret Garden was not the preferred knockdown even in this game. Woo! Roll right underneath that. The other thing to kind of note about like some of the character choices, and you know how I mentioned about how like Johnny was suggested for people who played Street Fighter. If you played Marvel, people suggested that you play Milia, since Milia's Magneto. Oh my gosh, that jump dust counter hit. Oh, that was a huge hit. That did so much damage. That's game time. Rip. Rip.
1対1まで持ってきましたけど、その時はいけるというふうに思いましたが、もう一度挑戦をしたら勝てる自信はあります。しかし、もう挑戦する権利はございません。
But you lost.
一言、ブラウンさんにコメントを、優勝してください。ありがとうございました。下級さん、大変です。
So even though he didn't win this, but I still, yeah, he's still my favorite.
1対1になった時はかなり厳しいという思われましたか？
はい、やっぱやばいな。
さあ、決勝に駒を進めました。向こうは誰が出てくるか、この後の試合にかかっているわけですけど、どうですか？
もうほんま面長だけは勘弁してほしいです。あれはほんま勝てないんで。
というか、次の試合は鷲見さんに頑張ってもらいたいというエールを送りたいということですね。
もう頑張りまくってほしいです、鷲見さんに。
どんなことがあっても連隊長に傷を負わせてくれという心からの叫びのようでございます。さあ、それではブラウンさん、決勝に向けて心しげにステージにお戻りください。
It's good times, man. It's good
それでは
times.
準決勝第2試合 1P 面会長選手、そして 2P 鷲見選手、両選手の入場です。準決勝第2試合、注目の一戦を迎える前に、先ほどのブラウンさんの心の叫びを聞いた鷲見さん、どうですか？
基本的に負け越してるからちょっと厳しいかな。
ブラウンさん、残念ですね。かなり薄くなってまいりました。さあ、この三角関係、いよいよ決着の時を迎えます。
It's good times. Here we go. Getting to the end. Now, another tough match for Soul. It's pretty much you can't jump in, Johnny. But it's definitely a match that can be, you can definitely outplay it. But back in these times, it was definitely considered a tough match for Soul. Jesus. Literally one bad jump, and it's like Stun City.
そしてダストでフィニッシュ。
Yikes.
ブラウンさんが収めていく。川尻が頑張るか。年会場フォローは勢いで押し切るのか。投げが入って。さあ、2番。いかない。さあ、投げが切り跳ねに行く。もう一回。さらに張ってもう一丁。切り張ってF線側から。オーバーギャンコンボは切りは至らない。しかしこの体力リードはなんとも知らないか。
Oof. What a goal burst. Into Nsinga. Into Nsinga again. Oh, man. Missed Nsinga, no problem. Do it again.
会長あなたやっぱり悪役ですね。ちょっと待っててください。さあ、マシミさん、ブラウンさん泣いてます。
ちょっと焦ったわけじゃないですけどね。ちょっと左回でした。
全く歯が立たなかったという感じですか？
You hate to see it.
結構そういうゲームだから、こう負けることもあるかなって、こう負けることもあるかな。
さあ今、マシミさんにできることは何か。それはブラウンさんに面会長対策を授けることだと私は思います。今戦ってみて、面会長をこうすれば下すことができるという確かな授かりを伝えてください。
知らない。
なんて冷たいやつだ。冷たすぎる。ブラウンさん、もう首振ってる。罰も出てる。この強さをどう迎え撃つのか。そして、
I wish my Japanese was good so I can understand everything.
もう一度面会長さんとぶつかって、その時は勝ちますかね。
わかんないです。
ダメです。そしたら退場してください。悪役はどこまで行っても悪役です。憎たらしいまでに勝つ。見事でしたね。
Congratulations.
戦ってみた感想をお願いします。
勝因はハメです。
だそうです。
He's like Fab before Fab.
いよいよ決勝になります。いかがですか？
帰って PS をやりたいです。
ということは棄権しようかというふうにも考えているとか？
いや、ちょっと考えかな。
余裕ですね。さあ、ブラウンさんとの対戦なんですが、どうですか？
強いですよ、あの人。
ブラウンさん、こういうふうに言ってますね。どこまで本気かわかりませんね。でも怒りの炎が燃えてたんじゃないですか？
小指でしばきます。
小指でしばく。全然痛くないですね。
So I think it's these two have to play now.
困ったな。あなた自ら言ってください。自分の弱点。俺はこれにされたら負けちゃうよというブラウンさん。
ダスト100連発されたら負けますよ。
作戦できました？大体
できました。
おっと、力強い言葉がブラウンさんから出ました。さあ、決勝に期待したいと思います。とりあえず面会長さん、一度誇らしげにステージにお戻りください。
So I think that's who he has to play next. Alright, finals.
そしてもう一人のファイナリストブラウンさん。予選トーナメントでは X メンとは実に対照的な勝ち上がり方をしている。まず1回戦は相手選手欠場のため戦勝。
So he basically came up through the F block.
常にギリギリのところで勝利し、ここまで勝ち上がってきた。
まず序盤ダメージを奪っているのはミリア。さあここでシークレットガーデンを離す。さあ中段前系のロマニャンからコンボに行って
Losers bracket in 2002 in Japan? Never that. Single on them, dog. Do it right the first time, or see you next year. But all things considered, like, You know, this game definitely had a lot of events back then in Japan.
そしてないがさあ体力大幅リードのミリアさあダブルカーカスからさあ前リード落としてしかし最後勝ち合ったところに待っていたのはミリアのジャンプ。
Definitely no losers bracket back then.
ブラウンさんの勝利です。
Japan doesn't have time to run losers bracket. I never understood what their logic behind single elim ever was outside of like the. I do know that the venues didn't really allow them to go for like full weekend type things all the time, but still.
2002年ギルティギア XXX 全国決勝大会頂点を目指し4月21日から全国で始まった予選トーナメント
So again, keep in mind,
その激戦
you know, Arc Systems is working with Sammy, and they helped produce all this, you know, promoting the arcade scene, promoting the game, promoting the players. It's pretty cool to see this.
さまざまなドラマが生まれ歴史が刻み込まれ
I think that's my favorite thing about seeing this is just I do wish that, and I do hope in the future ArcSys decides to do this kind of like production more often in, you know, globally. Obviously that's not going to happen right now with COVID, but the issue is like, remember I told you guys before, like they're really good at PR and doing stuff like that in their own country. They have to get past just Japan alone because there's fans of Guilty Gear and their games in general, not just in Japan, you know. Yeah, from what I understand, like a lot of the events, they just didn't run it, you know, like that. They didn't really run it like 2-day events. They would do their qualifiers, and then they would do like, you know, if you qualified, let's say there was like 64 players, they'll take those 64 players and boil them down to 16 and top 8. A lot of the times the DVDs are just like about top 8, really top 16 to top 8. But as time went on, they made Super Battle Opera. And the first SBO, I believe, was 2003 or Togeki. And that's pretty much the end of Sammy Cup after this one. And then they were able to show all the matches because of a lot of qualifying teams. Nope. Oh, he missed 2 chances to unblock. You see, Johnny's miss was so fast, dude. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Allergies. This is why they made Milia like the way she is, you know, in the later games, because her knockdown game is just too potent. Well, historically also pretty much a tough match for Johnny as well, fighting against Milia. Oof. Oh, he missed it. He missed this. Guaranteed meaty. Imagine having a guess after you burst. Yes, high coin misfinder loops. Yes, I was waiting to see those, man. I missed those combos. They should have continued this style of Milia. Nah, fam. She's not, this version of Milia is not very fun to play against. I mean, I play Chip, so it's not that bad, but still, like, this version of Millie is it's pretty annoying. She does really good damage. Her normals are still kind of whatever, but like, it's just her damage output in this game. Jumping at, whoa, come underneath jumping Johnny? Crazy, that jump H is too good. And that's it. Brown-san. He came through and did the damn thing.
こうして全国4799名の頂点を決める戦いは幕を閉じた。今日ここで行われた全ての試合にはそれぞれに
Look at all that shit he won.
僕たちの記憶に刻まれた。
And they didn't really win that much money back then either.
Guilty GearX という一つのゲームに魅了された人々が今日ここで作り出したこの物語はこれからも語り継がれるだろう。新たなるセイントの栄光とともに。
So that's it right there, right? So let's move into something else, right? There's some other stuff from that DVD in which you guys do need to see. Right? And specifically, I'm going to start with someone in which we saw previously. Right? So previously we saw JT from his Guilty GearX play. He was in this event. So, you know, he was the Zato player from Guilty GearX from Sammy Cup 2001. He did play this game, and as I told you guys before, he played pretty much from X all the way up until XR. Like, he never really stopped playing Guilty Gear. Like, pretty much his shit. You know, he loves the game. It's pretty clear. Even to the point to where I think he played, I think JT also played Sin for a little while in Sign 1.0. But moving forward, he did play in this event. Unfortunately, he didn't make it too far. However, there are highlights from his gameplay and what happened to him, because I believe that he wasn't necessarily a favorite to win per se, from what I gather, but people had high aspirations of him doing well in this event because, you know, he had previous experience with the last game. Whereas some of the other guys, they weren't really playing it like that. But he was. So let's take a look at this here. Highlights from JT.
そしてもう一人の優勝候補。第1回全国大会においてベスト4まで勝ち進み、セイントの称号を得た男、JT。今大会も一番乗りで本戦出場を決め、優勝候補として注目を集める。A ブロックを順調に勝ち上がり、迎えたブロック代表決定戦。
I would say after this tournament, a lot of people considered Bridget to be top tier or high tier. What a guy, right? Wake up command grab. That's some next level. That's some next level stuff right there. That's real big brain. Yeah, even though Bridget can run away like Storm in MVC2, the issue is that Bridget doesn't get knockdowns running away. You also sap your attention pulse, so Bridget won't build a lot of meter if you're using a lot of rolling FTCs.
空中で逃がさない。さあポイントを打って
The neutral.
さあ序盤体力リードしているのはエリー。さあここでコービルカウンターから空中ガードリングでフィニッシュ。さあ JT が1本取り返した。さあバブが JT 勝つのはどっちだ。
I believe this was the Bridget to move on to make top 8 or top 16.
ロジャーのさあ出てきたところにロジャーがまだいた。さあこれで体力半分を持ってかれてしまう。さあレベルハグ
Psych.
ファーストガードした
Burst bait? In 2002? Say psych.
大幅体力半分以上リードしている。まずしかし
Got a block.
さあドリルガードして設定して今度は接近戦を挑み続ける。さあ足まで入ってしかしここはバースト。そしてキルマシン発動。
Oof.
ダッシュが引っかかって勝ったのはバブ。
That
セイント JT まさかの予選敗退。 さらに
Unfortunate.
アルカディア代表選手 OIG も
Another set of highlights. So we know Toru played earlier. He played earlier on in the set with Kakun. So this is during the qualifying stages. I think at the time he was one of the other Eddie players who was pretty much well known. Oof. Tatami guys. Sorry, just the sound effects and the VA in the game is so memorable for me. No need to move forward. Damn. And to answer your question earlier, Terry, how do you deal with all that? The same way you deal with Morgan Bullet Hell. Oh, unblockable time. Ah, he messed it up. That dude has so many unblockable setups with TK Shadow Gallery. So with TK Shadow Gallery, break the law underneath and go behind the opponent. You can like 2D or 5D them because they want to move. The 5D isn't me, but you can meet them with a button and go in a sweep or whatever. There's all kinds of crazy shit. H drill is always Eddie drill's always been overhead. I mean not overhead. I'm saying overhead because I just saw him jump, but it's always been a low. That's always been a low. All the hits are lows. In Extra they changed it to where like what was it? Only the first two are low, or the first one is low, the rest are mid, making the unblockable timing tighter. Damn. Yo, sunset. Yo, sunset. So yeah, man. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. Alright, now there's another one. There's another one that I want you guys to see. There's another familiar face. There's another familiar face here. So, this one, everyone knows this guy. If you don't, you should. Especially if you play fighting games. You should know who this guy is. You should know who he is.
抽選により決定した A から P までの
So same tournament.
ブロックにて予選トーナメントが行われた。
そして最後は溶前線。さあこれは見切れない。
各ブロックとも実力者同士の激しい戦いが繰り広げられる中、会場の注目を最も集めたのが予選 K ブロックの梅原。
Oh, oh, oh! Look at him, the beast. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Bro, you see that turtleneck? You see the look on his... Bro, why Daigo look like he's straight from a character select screen? Like, he just... Daigo. Umehara. Like, come on, man. Look at this man. People forget this man played Guilty Gear and had a really good soul. He did play in this Sammy Cup. He didn't make it very far, but he did play. Like, straight up. Look at this man. Look at this man. This dude out here was... See the drip? See that turtleneck? See the hairdo? Like, what the fuck? This man's dripping. It was just all kinds of drip back then. But okay, let me stop messing around. But seriously though, Daigo had a really good soul. And you can see a good glimpse of this here. And I would say... Fast forward, you know, just a year later after this, you know, Daigo ended up winning Evo that year. I believe Daigo won 2003. Pretty sure he won 2003. Yeah, either 2003 or 2004 he won. But it wasn't too far from this that, you know, he's one of the stronger Guilty Gear players, believe it or not.
全国的に名を知られる 2D 格闘界のカリスマプレイヤー。これまで様々な大会で優勝を飾っている。会場全体が注目する中、梅原の試合が始まった。
And this is when he was like, you know, super quiet, you know. When he was a lot more to himself. Not to say he didn't have homies, you know, but I don't know the true backstory of all that. You gotta go read his book to kind of learn that one. But you know, a lot of the Street Fighter players were playing Guilty Gear, you know, because this was the newest thing, you know. So if you think about it, right? They had CVS 2 that came out in 2001, and then they had this come out in 2002. So they were playing both CVS 2 and this game. It's pretty huge. And like, I really don't know how to explain it, man, but I feel like, you know, I wasn't living in Japan at the time, obviously, but I feel like for some reason or other, like Guilty Gear was like this was the game. Like in Japan, like this was the game. Like Street Fighter was obviously a thing, right? But like, man, that did a lot of damage. There's just some kind of level of love that Japan has for Guilty Gear, and it's like, I don't know. Maybe as part of this project, I can see if I can talk to, maybe I can find a way to talk to one of the older players who played back then to try to understand like the phenomenon back in the day. Cause yeah, like they were just ham with it. So many people started to play like him too. There was like whatever DP. I mean, that's just part of his playstyle. Someone needs to find out if Daigo still has that sweater. Historically, not a good match for Soul. Oof. Yeah, I'll see what I can do. Like, going back and doing research for GX3 has been really fun. I wish I still had some old match videos from the old HO videos or old Game Chariot videos. I wish I still had some of those I could just show off for you guys. Oof. If that super was a little bit later, he would have definitely popped him on the way up for that. And old Guilty Gear, his Aegis was really good. Or his mirror super. That super's mad good in this game. Also, this game here is part of the major reason why Soul's Gunflame FRC is done so much later. Because instant, look at that. Instant is like fireball, boom. Like the minute you do it, you just cancel. And like Soul legit, like you cannot deal with him. Because this here was a Soul actually had a quasi unblockable, what do we call it? A pseudo unblockable, right? Where he's gonna do it here. So when you do Gunflame, you see how he's already walking back and the flame for the Gunflame's already out? He can do that into command grab in this game. He can do it in later versions, right? It's a lot harder. But this pseudo unblockable, basically if he misses a command grab, you gotta hold that Gunflame. It's really nutty. And in this version of the game, you know, his wild throw bounces you up so high, he can just run it underneath pretty easily. It's like that in XR too. I think later on they tried to make it a lot harder or just not let you do it all together. But yeah, this is a pretty sizable option he would have. And you can do this to like anybody. Meaty fireball and just wait. Again, he can do it now. But like it's different in pressure, you know, like Gunflame, alright. Like he does blah 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 Gunflame into like command grab. It's like, man, I was just blocking. Nah, you were just blocking. Now you got scooped. And the Gunflame isn't active right away. That's why that setup works. I don't think I have a way to. I might have a way to stream XX again. I'll figure out a way to do it, but either way, you know, that's just the kind of stuff you have to deal with. It's pretty jacked up coming from Soul, especially how much damage he does in this game. Yeah, dog, we're gonna uppercut again. You thought it was over? I'm gonna do it again. Now, I had the pleasure of playing this man. And let me tell you, those uppercuts were very minimal. Whenever we played. I remember playing him and like being forced to get up. And like he wanted to keep playing against me. Which was like an honor because I'm like, yo, Daigo, put some respect on your boy's name? Hold on. I know about that. I played Daigo in this game. This game in particular. XX. With Chip. And this was before Evo was really... This was before, like, the brackets or anything like that. It was a line of play him, and it was, like, on a projector or whatever, I want to say. Damn. Yep. It's good times. It's good times.